Hello, Michael Mandeville here with How I Write the Series. So, I love to use Scrivener, and everybody has their organizational tools to use, and I really enjoy Scrivener. So, let's take a look at how I'm using that, see if it helps you. Essentially, I work right now on a novel, and I organize it according to episodes, chapters. But because also I think it's adaptable to television, thinking in terms of episodes, episodic chapters, let's call it, kind of makes it easier for me to keep on track of thinking visually and action oriented. And it's about my character, John Blaine, and he has a intelligence agency background, and he gets caught in Casablanca in some espionage situation here. So if we look at Scrivener and the way I've got it worked out, I do have to where I have an Act 1, 2, and 3. And obviously I have a lot of research down here. It keeps me focused on the reality of it. But right here, I've actually, what I do is I take an act and I have a teaser, and then I have 6 acts, and then I have a cliffhanger. And so it allows me to think in these bite-sized little chunks, as it were. And in Act 1, what I do is I took what I wrote previously, called Act 2 Book, and I took that and actually kind of broke it down into smaller sections. So it's a act, and then it goes to a pilot, 2 and 3, as it were, and Act 2 and Act 3, and each of those broken down into episodes. Each episode I break down into, like I said, the teaser, Act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and a cliffhanger. And again, what it's doing is really reframing how I'm looking at it. And I saw a book by Scott Adams, the cartoonist, and what's interesting is that his book has to do with reframing. In other words, the notion that it's not the situation that happens to you, as it were, it's how you react to the situation that really entails your action and forward movement and response and growth and a whole host of things. So I was thinking of that, and having something in these episodic chapters and the various acts, like a 6-act structure for a TV show, and having what would be the teaser opening and then the closer cliffhanger makes a lot of sense to me. How I digest, how I process, how I think about this particular work. And also it by reframing that, it allows me to edit, not edit while I'm writing in a certain way, because you want to go with that flow, but it does give me some guideposts, some rails to bounce off of that keep me lined up with the idea of being an action book. So hopefully this kind of sense of organization, or your own if you use this and then come up with a better one, but it's all good. But episode, teaser, act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, cliffhanger is working for me. Now what I do is I'm taking what I originally wrote, which was just Act 2 book, and you could see that I have it broken into little sections here. So these are paragraphs that kind of came to me as the plot's boiling up, and I wrote those. And what I'm going to do is now take these particular plot points right here, and I will be adding a number of documents, at least 4 or 5, within the act itself, because I break them up in terms of going back and forth and kind of cutting to keep things lively. So I'll take this first section here, and it goes up to about right here. Hang on, let me put a little space there. So as it goes up, I'm going to take this section here, and I'm going to put it in a new document, put it above Blaine in the van. He just got nabbed. And now I've got this section I'm going to work on right now. And as always, what I'm doing is I have a version here, May 2024 that's me, version 2. So I will also cycle in versioning because that frees up my brain from hesitating on the edit. But I covered that in another How I Write series. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful, and have a great day writing.